Welcome back to the Bad As We Go podcast. I just want to give you guys a quick apology for last weekend. We didn't upload. We had some
scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys forgive us, and hopefully this podcast is better than last week's because we had nothing last week. So stick around. All right, Jamie, listen, okay, I have something I want to talk about because it happened to me this week, and I didn't know how to react to it. So basically what happened is I'm at work, okay, and I'm currently in charge of a landscaping crew, so we're out in public and we're doing people's yards and stuff like that, and we're over there near in bumfucked Egypt, okay, we're in the middle of nowhere, Countryville, 100%, right? And we got done with the job and the guys wanted to go get McDonald's, so we went and got McDonald's, and as soon as we got out the car, so my crew is 95% black guys, okay? And which is nothing wrong with that. It's just when we got out the vehicle, some fucking white hillbilly just screamed white power at my guys, and I'm just what was the point in that? It made no sense to me. I've never felt so pissed off at my race. It was just pathetic, you know? What makes a person feel like they have to say something like that? They don't even know the guys. They just feel like they had to say that. Do you think the reason why it happened to us is because the increase in the Black Lives Matter protest and people just upset about that for some reason?
Probably, yeah. I mean, Ohio's very one racist thing. Ohio's very kind of racist.
Yeah.
The countryside is. Yeah,
I didn't realize it, and it just it didn't make my guys upset. It made me more upset. It's just it's just so fucking annoying. Why would you say that? You know, white power. What that? Why? That makes him you're a fucking idiot. And he got scared because he said it, and then he had to stop at a red light. He kept looking over at us and shit. And I was listen, you're a piece of shit. And the kid was probably, he's a teenager. So his parents are doing a fucking great job. Fucking douchebags, dude. It's just, I don't know, man. I've never had, obviously as a white guy, I've never had that kind of attitude, judgment towards me, and being in that situation where I felt pissed off that someone would say that, it just sheds a whole new light in my area of what is actually going on in the world, because as a white guy, no one screams white power at me and I get mad about it, right? It's just when someone says it out of pure hate or frustration towards a black guy, it's annoying. You know, we're supposed to be in unity. Let the shit go. There should be no racism based on color. Honestly, this is why, you know, people of color have such a hard time going out of the city, because that shit could happen. And if someone has the balls to say that, then someone has the balls to just beat up a black guy for no fucking reason, and that irritates me. You know, it's just you need to fucking just not be that way. Why can't people just realize that everyone is the same person on the inside? They just have a different skin pigment. You know, I don't know, dude. It just pissed me off a lot. And I mean, obviously I'm still not over it. I think about it every day, and it's just it hurts to see that humans treat each other that way, and we're the only fucking mammals that do this type of shit. I don't understand. I really don't. Why can't we just all come in unity? Why can't we all just work together? Yes, there were slaves and stuff like that, and let's get past that. Let's fucking go past that and stop screaming white power at black guys at a McDonald's in the middle of fucking Countryville. It's annoying. You do not own the country. You do not own that city. That city is for everybody. You should be welcoming people of different color into your community because it makes it diverse. instead of just screaming white power and trying to make them scared. It's annoying, and it just makes me worry that, because if we were in like a public setting, like if we were actually out in the city and someone said that, how many people would stand up for that guy? Like stand up for the guy, the black guy. Like would someone say something to the white guy like, hey, don't fucking say that? Or they would just sit and watch?
Depends what part of the city you're in. Downtown, they'll probably stand up for him.
Yeah, especially now. But like if they're in downtown Countryville, I don't think anyone's gonna stand up. They probably would join the white guy. It's annoying. It's just like, it's frustrating for me, especially as someone who has friends of different color, and like realizing what they have to go through and worry about. It makes me sad. It makes me just realize that, I can't take my friend to the country and make them feel like they're going to be safe. I can't go camping in the middle of nowhere in the country with my black friend because he might not feel safe. And that makes me upset a little bit, Like, they shouldn't have that worry. They shouldn't have to worry about if they're going to get jumped walking down the street. It's just so annoying. It's so irritating. I've been obviously staying off of social media a lot lately, so I haven't really soaked in all this stuff because I like to not be a part of the negativity. I want to be a part of the positivity. I want to be the part of the change, the people who come in and try to help without even knowing what is going on in the world, because that's what makes a good person. If you're just being quote unquote nice to people of color because of situations going on, and then once this all dials down and it goes back to everyone just kind of lives their lives, no really protests, and you start going back to being racist, you were never good in the first place. You can't, like, what people don't understand, especially people of my color, like I see a lot of people of my color make like black people jokes. That's not funny. It's not like, you can't say, oh, I'm not racist, and then make a fucking black person joke. And it's like, that's kind of racist, It's like, that's yeah, you are a little racist. And then like obviously white people get mad, like, oh no, it's just a joke. It's not. Honestly, it's just fucking, it's honestly annoying. And like, people just don't understand like what people of color had to go through back then, and it's not okay. And for white people to still, not all white people obviously, but some of them still do these types of racial slurs and like saying white power, like that still pisses me off. Like, what made that guy feel like he had to do that? Like, what was going through his head? Like,
probably a Trump supporter or something like that.
You think so? Yeah. Also, get close to your mic because yeah, because I don't know if they've heard you at all this podcast.
Okay, so I'm guessing he's a Trump supporter. So.
I mean,
because Trump could really make like the poor people feel like they are empowered and stuff like that. Like, he feels like when Trump speaks to them, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna get my job back at the mines, and he's gonna create all these jobs, and I'm gonna get my life back together how it was 30 years ago or something like that.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, that's just my assumption, but
yeah, it could be. It's just like, it's just so fucking irritating. Like, really. I don't know. It just, that situation just made me really pissed off. Like, I wanted to fucking fight the dude. I really wanted to fuck him up. But I was like, I can't, because I'm working. And I can't leave my people alone because they're developmentally disabled. And I got to make sure they're good. I mean, they weren't upset about it, so I don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, though, I'm worrying about it because that person had no right to say that, Like, it dumbfounds me that people still live in this mindset that is still 1800s. It's like, no, dude, it's the 2000s. That happened over 100 years ago. Like, you're supposed to be the person that integrates change, because the white man brought over slaves to do this. It's 100 years ago. You should be trying to make them feel welcomed in our communities instead of making them feel that they need to go away. It's just, I don't know. I wish, like, we're all human. We all get along. Just because your skin's black, just because you're an Asian, just because you're Mexican doesn't make you any different from me, you know? It's annoying that we, like, if we just classified ourselves as humans instead of just the pigments or what nationality we are, I feel like the whole the whole world would be so much more unified. But since we started off the bat judging other people and saying, oh, since you're this, you're bad, or since you're black, you're really good at basketball, or like, it's just like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's just such a stereotypical thing to think about. It's annoying, you know? It's just fucking irritating. Just because you're black doesn't mean you're good at basketball. Just because you're white doesn't mean you're good at golf. Just because you're Asian doesn't mean you're good at math. Like, these people just fucking put these stereotypical things on people's brains to make them automatically think. And it's just so irritating. If we stop just thinking this way, I feel like our world would be in such a better place. Oh, that person's good at basketball. That person's good at golf. That person's really good at math. Instead of like putting race and nationality into it.
Do you think it might be a success thing though? Because, you know, like, the more someone gets success, the more people look at them and start hating on them for like anything.
I mean, that's a good possibility.
Because, like, if you're like not successful, they don't really care about you at all. Like, oh yeah, he's like,
yeah,
he's nothing, so I don't care about it. But when you start like getting a certain type of level of success, then they're like, they start paying attention to you and start picking flaws and like, oh, he did this because of that. Or this because of that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a jealousy thing, for sure.
And then as well, like, do you think it could be like change as well? Because people like can't really accustom to change because they have certain like set in stone things of how they've done, and like when like change is implemented, they can't really comprehend what happened because it like fucks up their whole.
What are you talking about for change?
Well, let me start with like a low example for us, like, you know, implementing something new to your day. You know how it kind of like disrupts like something of you're doing. Yeah, it's kind of like that, and you feel kind of weird.
But what would be a change that people feel the urge to judge other people? Because like that's what we're on topic.
Well,
right now.
I don't know if like their village or like city has like always been like, oh, there's just this like mom and pops thing, and the next thing you know, some random people came in and then, like, and it kind of disrupted everything and stuff like that. Like, this, I like the way it was like 2 days ago, and people came.
People are really accustomed to their ways. I guess in the countryville, like, people of color don't really go out there in the first place. So when people get introduced, they've always been taught through generation after generation, like, this is the way. And then as soon as someone of color comes in, they feel like they're being attacked, probably. Which is, I mean, I would agree that could be a high possibility of the reason why people act like that. Damn. Yeah, but like at the same time though, at what point are you gonna realize that kind of like behavior is unacceptable?
When it's too late.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Everything happened. We all learn a lesson when it's too late. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep moving away from the mic.
Yeah, it's okay. I can my voice is pretty good. Your mic for some reason is like very low. And the gain is all the way up, so I have no idea.
All right, so I'll move closer here then.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Okay. Like, that sounds great. But yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of shifting blame here. Like, white people aren't the only ones in the wrong here. I would say, like, literally everybody is in the wrong. But there are a lot of people on the right. Like, there are people fighting for the good thing. Like, the Black Lives Matter is a good thing. Like, the protests and stuff like that. But the organization is not. And let me explain. The organization is, like, it doesn't stand for Black Lives Matter. It stands for, like, white people don't. Like, if you, like, it's hard. Like, I'm not saying Black Lives Matter is not a good thing. Okay?
I think you just dig yourself a hole. You might as well
listen to me. Okay. So what I'm saying is, like, the protests and the people fighting for Black Lives Matter and making a stand for, like, yes, your life matters, but Black people's lives matter just as much. It's a good protest. That is good. But the organization, their Twitter and stuff like that, they're really targeting everybody else who is not Black. Like, if you go and look at their social medias and stuff stuff like that. The organization, I can't remember what the organization is actually called. It's Black Lives something, but like the organization isn't fighting for just equality and stuff like that. They're like shifting blame onto people, which in my eyes isn't what you should be doing. What you should be doing is unifying everybody and trying to get that situation going, instead of going, well, this white man. It's just like, that's not the way to go about it. The protests and stuff like that, like, that's good, because I mean, you can see it physically happening, and white people are joining along, people are doing this, but the organization is really what's causing the riots and like the hate towards other nationalities, which, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I feel like Black Lives Matter is not to cause more violence. It's to stop the violence. It's to make everyone unified and make people realize that just because the pigment in my skin is a different color than yours doesn't make me different. Right? So the organization is just like, just looking at it and just like doing a bunch of research, because like, make sure you do a bunch of research before you start calling me out, is like, they're just targeting other nationalities, not just whites. It's literally every nationality, and it's just annoying. Like, that's why the riots are happening. That's why people are destroying things, because this organization is telling people, take back what people took from us. And it's just like, that's not how you go about it. That's not how you do things. Like, it's not okay. The protests and stuff like that is a good thing. The Black Lives Matter organization is trying to cause chaos, because they feel like that's the only way they can make a change, which, I mean, it's definitely making a footprint, but it's also like fucking up people's lives. Like, destroying property, destroying all this. And people keep saying, oh, they have insurance. How the fuck is the insurance company supposed to cover billions of dollars in damages? They can't. There's no way. They're going to need financial support from some kind of outside source, the government, a different organization. And these people, like, the insurance isn't free. So these people are going to have to fucking pay a shit ton of money because they got their shit destroyed. Like, what happens when you get in an accident, right? Mm-hmm. You destroy someone else's property. What happens?
You actually got to pay for it?
Yeah.
No.
You think they're going to make the protesters pay for it?
No.
No. Who are they going to make pay for it?
The owners.
The owners. So that means that they have more to pay from these damages. Mm-hmm. It's just like, you're destroying communities, you're destroying all these things to make a footprint. That's not good. The peaceful protest, the stuff like that is good. Like, we have a guy down the street, some old white man. He has like a cart, and he holds up almost every single day Black Lives Matter and like stuff like that. And I'm like, that felt good. It was like, that dude is old. So he, like, for him to do that, he's trying to produce change. That's a peaceful protest. You can stand at the corner, you can do that. But people who are running through the street, looting fucking Target and shit like that, it's just like that shouldn't happen. And I've been watching, I've been doing research on this organization, and I've seen nothing but like them just trying to cause chaos. I'm not saying Black Lives don't matter. I am, obviously, this whole time I've been talking about like Black Lives do matter. I appreciate Black people. I appreciate literally everything, because without them, this culture would be completely different, and it's a culture I wouldn't want to live in. But the organization is just creating a lot of chaos. So what I'm saying is, like, the protest, the people out there trying to make a difference peacefully and not causing a disruption to the communities is a good thing to happen. But those people who are, causing disruption, causing chaos inside their own communities, inside other people's communities, traveling to other organizations and causing like a very big disruption there, it's just, you're not saving anything. You're not fighting for anything. You're a thug. That's what you are. But the people out there just peacefully protesting, walking in the streets, having signs, chanting, doing things non-destructive is, in my eyes, a better way to do things. Obviously, it won't cause a huge disruption in the government, and I get why they're doing it. But at the same time, though, this is your community. You're doing this to your own community. We have to figure out a different way than destroying, mom and pop's donut shop. You can't, like, that's That's so irritating. You know, what do they do to it? And why are they getting targeted? It's just, I don't know. In my eyes, I just feel like that part of Black Lives Matter is just chaotic, you know? And then they're putting, this is what I'm saying, like they're putting the Black Lives Matter logo all over their organization, where they don't actually stand for Black Lives Matter. They stand for riots and chaos, when then the other peaceful protests stands for Black Lives Matter. They're trying to share their views and opinions on your life does matter, but my life matters too. It's not about black people's lives matter. It's about my life matters as much as your life does. And I think it's what people get confused at, because you see people walking the streets screaming all lives matter. Of course they do. You know, of course they matter. But like for generations after generations, black people have been dealt this shitty card that, you know, that they need to realize that they get, like they feel uncomfortable in our public, in our communities, and we should not have that. We should have welcoming, you know, like just because your skin color is a different color doesn't mean that you're any different from any one of us. We should be welcoming. And that's what Black Lives Matter stands for. And that's what I fully stand behind. I fully stand behind that message of unity and realizing that, you know, we need to help, you know, people of color out and make them feel more welcomed. A person of color shouldn't walk into a restaurant full of white people and feel like they're being judged. That should not be a thing, you know. But I mean, that's I can understand, like, me starting off with that is like really bad, and hopefully they stuck to it. We're gonna have some people in the comments call me a racist, but I'm not. And I stand behind the Black Lives Matter movement. Do not stand behind a Black Lives Matter organization, because it's not a good organization to stand behind. The movement is made by the people for the people. The organization is made by an organization for organizations, and that's how I see it. Because I mean, do you think that them like destroying people's property is going to actually make the situation even better?
Of course not.
No. So
that's what you get labeled as. That's where you get labeled as like a terrorist and all that.
Yep. Like I don't get it. Like I'd rather, like, I mean, obviously my opinion doesn't matter, but you know, if you get a big enough group together, you can cause as much damage peacefully as you would chaotically. Mm-hmm. You know, and in my eyes, the peaceful way is the better way, because you're not destroying your own communities. You know, you're setting fire to buildings, you're setting fire to these things, and like, it's just annoying. But then we have the country, and the country is a whole fucking different territory in general. Like, it's just, that's so fucking irritating. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but like, it's just so fucking dumb. But yeah, that's my view on it. Like, from my experience of this week, it's just, you know, I didn't appreciate that from that guy. Obviously, my opinion doesn't matter towards that guy, because he still said it anyways, and he's a little piece of shit. He's never going to amount to anything greater than a farmer. So it is what it is. But at the same time, though, like, I just felt for my guys. I'm like, that hurt. Oh,
take one.
Yeah. Take one. The camera died again. We haven't even been recording for a half hour.
That's 19 minutes right now.
That's 19 minutes?
19 minutes right there.
For the last recording?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Where are we at there?
We're at 24.
19 minutes.
Alright. So...
all your episode was.
Yeah. Oops. Oh. Oof. Oh. That was loud.
No, I said I wasn't gonna do it again, but you know, just happened. Sorry,
yeah.
It's the morning time. I'm not really up. I'm usually up within like 2 hours.
Yeah, we had to start this podcast at like, Jeremy came over at 7:40 a.m.
Okay, when you tell me to be here at 8, I'm gonna try to be here on time.
It's not on time. That's really early. That's 20 minutes before.
My mom always told me, you know, always try to be early. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
I mean, that makes sense.
You ever heard that before?
No, yeah.
Exactly.
I only put that towards
like what, airports and all that?
No, I don't. I've never flown.
Oh, okay, because that's what my mom does. She was like, "We gotta go to the airport." Like, Mom,
I want to go on an airplane.
Your flight's at 7 while we are up at 4. She's like, I want to be the first one in line. I'm like, I don't care. It's at 7.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to be on an airplane. I want to go somewhere.
It's really nice to be on an airplane.
Is it?
Yeah, it's nice.
You see the world. Kind of like, does it round out?
I mean, you can't really tell.
Oh, you can't.
You can't tell.
I've never been that high, so I don't know. Jeremy, look at me.
Well, you know, the world is flat.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the hell up, Jeremy.
So
There's no way.
Like, what you see is like the space, and then you just see flatness, and then you just see like there.
Jeremy, I hate you. I hate you so much. It's why you gotta do this, man. The world is not flat. We are not flat earthers. Flat earth community, get out of my comments. Thanks.
Why are you being racist towards them, man?
I'm not being racist. The flat earthers is not a race. It's a dumb fucking community.
Why are you being mean to that community then?
Huh?
Why are you being mean to that community?
Meme sack?
Why are you being mean to that community?
Oh, mean to that community?
Yeah.
Because the world's not flat.
So?
Facts instead of opinions. There is no opinion about is the world flat or is it round. It's just people say the world's flat, but
So
like,
you
why
think we
can
have
I?
too much evidence to prove that the world is round? Is
Yes.
that what you're trying to say? Okay.
Yeah, the world is round. How is it not? How is it not?
I don't know.
What are people saying? Like, one of the arguments for flat earthers is gravity. Why can't I throw something up and it comes back down? What the fuck? How is that an argument?
It's called gravity, and then gravity, gravitational pull. You learned that in science class from Bill Nye.
They said because the world's flat, when you throw something up, it has to come back down. It's like, what the fuck? What kind of sister fucking is this? It's just like, what the fuck is this, dude? Yeah. It's so dumb, dude. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
So they're trying to say that like the
Oh shit, we're going to have to do some color correction in that.
Okay, so they're trying to say is basically like if it's round, it's like the moon where it has like no like air within it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
So
how's shit rotate around us? Is it rotating? How's it get from one side to the other, back to the other side without going over?
Well, the thing is, like, the moon goes away, gets something to drink, and then comes back, and it's nighttime again.
Get something to drink.
Get something to drink from
the sun.
Or it goes to the sun because it's too cold.
But how's the sun go from sunrise to sunset to sunrise from the same area that it rose before instead of going back over?
Because the sun is just like, all right, dude, it goes like this, it goes like that, like a little. Like a little sauna.
Here's like the biggest thing. If the world is flat, what's behind us? Is anything behind us? Are we on a plane? Like, what exactly? How are we in space? How do we know what the galaxies are? Like, do they believe in galaxies? We need a flat earther. We need a flat earther on this podcast.
Where are we gonna find a flat earther?
I have no idea.
I think no one wants to like.
If anybody knows a flat earther, I want them on the podcast. I want them in here, and I want them to explain why they think the way they do. I want to see. I want to pick at their brain just to figure out what are they actually thinking. Really want to figure that out. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather believe someone who's a flat earther or someone who believes that the Earth is in the middle of our galaxy?
Honestly, I'd rather the second option. The flat Earth is no.
Would you rather say, "Oh, the world revolves around the Earth"? Would you go with that one? Would you believe more people who did that?
I mean, I'm not going to believe any of them because I know the fucking facts. But I will probably side more. Like, if it was an argument, but like, which one would you stick behind? Probably the one in the center. At least that person believes the Earth's round instead of flat. Like that. Like I could see why you think that.
I think he could have good valid arguments. He was like, well, we haven't really expanded upon within our galaxy, so we're gonna go with this for right now until we actually firmly believe the sun's in the middle. We roll around it.
Yeah, I mean, I would side with that person more.
Really? Because you need like more valid evidence rather than what we believe in school and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the flat earth, like, we already know everything's round. Like, the moon is the perfect circle. is that perfect circle round or is that perfect circle flat?
It's not a circle, it's a sphere.
Is that a platter or is that a sphere? Is it like, no, please stop, dude. Like, oh God. I don't know. People, I don't know, man. I've realized people are really different in the way they think. I feel like I'm very open to the conversations, but if I know something's not right, then it's really hard for me to allow my opinion not to interfere with the conversation. Like if a flat earther came up to me, it'd be really hard for me not to be closed-minded about it, just because like how in the world is a fucking earth flat? Like I'm just like, did you travel to the end of the world? No. Well, how do you know the earth's flat? Because I know. It's like wait a minute, so you telling me you never traveled to the end of the world? Like what happens at the end of the world? Like if the earth's flat, there has to be an end, right? So how the fuck, like what happens?
Well, you know, maybe they think of it as like, you probably think of it as a paper. They're probably thinking of it as like maybe like kind of like this, like a little tube. Like my finger, where it's kind of flat like that, do a little curve, and then like that, kind of like that flat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like when they see like the earth curve, like if they would walk over it and go under, so they think like, oh, do they think Asia's below us, like underneath the flat side?
No, what's below us is Antarctica. So like we're up here, like all the continents up here, and the below is Antarctica.
Yeah, this don't make much sense.
I'm letting you know. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, it's just
like just take your card for a minute. That's how flat the Earth is, and you see how those round edges. That's how it curves.
Yeah.
And then you know,
I don't know, man.
See, it's kind of like that. That's how flat Earth is. It just does a little curve.
Nope. I will not stand behind this. Not at all. I will. Nope. I'm perfectly fine with believing that the Earth is round.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, listen. We're at 30 minutes now.
You serious?
Yeah.
Wow, you just talked the whole episode. Okay.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Everyone who watches these says my co-host does not talk much. So, yeah. So.
Well, this episode, my excuse is it's too early in the morning. So.
Yeah, but it's also too early in the morning for me just to learn how to fucking talk more.
No, I have a system where I can.
Well, you better fucking cut that system out because we're doing it at 8 a.m. every single morning now. No, I'm just joking. Don't hold us to that. We're not
don't hold us to that, please, because
no, we're not. No.
I'm gonna pull up to his house at 7:45 and be like, "Hey, get up." I'm up yet.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Follow us on all the social medias down in the description below. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And no, I am not a racist, so please don't consume me. I'm a racist. There's a difference between the Black Lives Matter community and like the protest and the Black Lives Matter organization. Just do some research on it and then call me a racist. My name is Wesley Jude.
It's too early for morning, but my name is Jeremy.
It's way too early. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.